Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi! I have a cake tray, flan tray, something you cook sweet stuff in, or pies, maybe pies, could be pies, I don't know. Anyway, it's a cheap thing from, I think, the Poundland. Yeah, Poundland. I thought, I want to make a tray. I'm going to warn you now, looks can be deceiving. That's all I'm saying right now. Yeah. I've got my one-to-one already warmed up on my heat mat, so it's practically bubble free. It's lovely, and I mix it up slowly. It doesn't look slow. I have sped it up a bit, slowly, so you can keep the bubbles at bay. And I also add in some really sparkly hieroglyphic. There we go. Hieroglyphic. Oh my god. Oh dear. Glitter. Yes, hieroglyphic glitter. I think I need a cup of tea. And it's really sparkly. I only put a little bit in to start with, and then I kind of just dumped it in because it sparkles. It's nice, and I'm 6 years old again. But yeah, this resin's good. I like this resin. It's not bad stuff. Barely any smell to it. I'm not allergic to it. It's really good to get rid of bubbles, as long as you work it right. And it's me, so you know, most of the time I mess something up, and I do mess this up. It's something that can be rectified when it stops raining long enough for me to do some sanding. But yeah, I messed up. And I spray the tray with alcohol. Shouldn't have done that, because I think it shows through. I don't know, it's just me. But I put the alcohol in the pot as well, just to disperse any bubbles. And I did that before I put the glitter in, which was really silly because I've got to mix it again. So yeah, this is not sparkly enough apparently. So it's nice, but I wanted a sparkly tray. Oh, it's so pretty. Have you ever fell in love with a sparkle? I think it's there. It's so nice. Yes, that's much better. Now, I do this in 5-ounce layers. So each layer is 5 ounces. And I think I used roughly 15 ounces altogether. It's a blooming big tray. And if I had have realised I needed that much, I probably wouldn't have bothered. Because I don't usually do big things, because I don't like to waste the resin. It's not wasted, but you know, it lasts longer if you use smaller items. And I can't afford to keep buying resin. That's why I keep flipping from one thing to another. And plus it stops me from being bored. And so I'm scraping it around to get into the little bumpy bumps. And it looks like it's not very thick. And it's not. And that's fine. I don't want it to be thick. I just want to make sure it covers. And I put it on the heat mat when I'd done, to get it to cure a little bit. Enough for me to be able to put something on it, but not thoroughly, because I didn't need to wait that long. So I put it on the heat mat for 2 hours, and my table is not level, even though the last time I left it, it was level, and I forgot to check it, didn't I? Anybody shocked that I forgot? Because I'm not. I swear, my memory got up and left the building. But yeah, It's going on my heat mat. Now I have these stickers, and you'll have to excuse my nails. I've been crafting again, and I've got mica up them, I've got all sorts up them, playing all sorts. I like to do things in... Well, I don't like to. I end up doing 6 million things at once. You can just barely see a Christmas tree, baubley tree thing in the background behind the girt sign. That's one. I also was doing something else at the same time, so that's 3 things there. And I also had to go out at some point, which I really shouldn't have done, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have messed up. Me. But yeah, these are window clings, and they're really pretty and really cheap. I like cheap. I am cheap. But I didn't want to put them everywhere. I just wanted it to be like the sky, the background, because I'm going to put something else on top. But I'm going to put another layer in between. So it's going to be a clear layer, but with just a little bit of sparkle. Just not a lot, just a tiny bit. I'm rubbing these down because I can see that it's like a condensation type effect. And I needed to rub them down just to make sure they were really stuck, because I don't want to go chuck the resin on top and it makes them unstick and float. And they didn't. It was really good. They did not unstick and float. I half expected it. I was sat watching it like a hawk. Well, at this part I was. I had Nikki saying, my community post, why don't you do a fail and redo it and see how far you've come? I think she might have jinxed me. Yeah, because I failed. Half failed. Yeah, because I can rectify it. It's not a big issue. It looks ridiculous, and if it wasn't so stupid, it'd be funny. But yeah, she's a jinx. So yeah, this is where I'm telling you I'm going to put some more resin on top and then come back to you. So this is the second layer that's already gone on, and I'm just making sure I put a little bit of sparkling, and I'm just making sure that there's enough in it to cover everything, and I'm just pressing down to make sure that they are definitely stuck down, that there's no bubbles around them, they are all good. I spent so much time on this, making this right, and I sound disappointed because actually it is really nice, it's lovely. It's just the hassle of sanding. I don't like sanding. I mean, I know I'm going to use my mouse, but when it stops raining, I don't want to go outside with power tools. I say power tools, it's not really powerful, it's just enough to rectify the mistake. So I sprayed it with alcohol and I put it on my mat. Now it's partially cured again, and I'm going to use these window clings. And I was looking at them and thinking, could I use a lot or could I just use the one? And I decided on just the one. I didn't want to overcrowd it, because also I've got to put some handles on. Now that tree I was mentioning in the background, there's another tree, and I was using foils, and I want to make some handles for this, so the waste from the foils from the tree is getting used in the handles. Now I'm being very careful here because I can see it's already doing the condensation type thing, and I'm using my brush this time just to smooth it, and it's not quite right because there's little bumpy humpies, and I can see that star's not quite down, but then I go in with my finger and push all the bumps out, push all the air out, and release as I need to. So then I've got them the same as the snowflakes. It'll look all good. And I'm gonna keep going, and you can see the bubbles are just coming out. Keep pushing, push and push, nice and gently. I really should have used something like a credit card shaped thing, have to find one out. Just so I can push it. Oh, actually, I've got scrapers. Oh, dear. Do you know when you're doing something, you can't think at the time, can you? But now I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh, I could have used a scraper. Nelly. It's because they're not in front of me, if they're behind me. If they're in front of me, I can see them and then I'll use them. But if they're behind me, I've forgotten they're there. Oh, God. But yeah, that's just how I want it now. It's perfectly flat. There's no umpy bumpies. I can't do anything about the little dots in his beard. But I'm going to put another layer on when I do my handles. So I've got my flakes in there. I just put all the waste bits of flakes in. And this is UV resin. I could have used epoxy, but I was being impatient and I wanted to see it done and I needed to go out. So what I'm doing is I'm filling the little stands up first, just so I can give them a bit of a squeeze so that I can get any air trapped out of there. And I'm pouring in the UV and there wasn't quite enough, so I just topped up with the bottle afterwards. And excuse my Shrek hands. Yeah, I'm elusive on camera. Just paint them green. Actually, I have been green once. So yeah, there's not enough. And I'm trying to scrape out the last little bit as much as I can. Of course, again, I'm tight. And I don't like to waste anything. So that's it for that tub. I'm going to put in some more UV resin and then just make it so it's up to the line, so it's all nice and shaped, because it's hexagon shape. Yeah, I think it's hexagon. Don't think it's pentagon. No, it's hexagon. So you've got to be really careful with that last line. And then I'm going to cure the heck out of it. I'm going to leave it on longer than I have to, and I'm going to do it from a height first and then bring it down and then turn it over, just to make sure I've got everywhere that I can get to. It does, however, give me a few bubbles inside it. Even though you can't see them here, when it cures, it definitely gave bubbles. But I quite like it. There, look. They're there. It looks like ice. It's like water trapped in ice. Now these can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, especially if things aren't quite cured, and I didn't think this was, but it ended up being cured. It was just me being silly. So I'm popping them out, and this saves you having to buy any handles for anything. Just make them yourself and then glue them in with your epoxy or your UV, whichever one you're using. But these have turned out really nicely. And I was wondering if I could bend them a little bit, but I thought, that's too late now, don't be silly. And it's a bit tricky there, because I thought it was stuck in, but it wasn't, as in sticky. They weren't sticky at all. Just needed to fill that end in, because that hadn't quite rounded off. But yeah, they're nice. I like them. They're cool. Icy cool. So I'm going to put these on the tray, and I'm going to put my next layer on and then watch it for a while and hope and pray it works. And it did, but I realised that actually it was sunk and it needed a top coat. So this is where I messed up and made a boo-boo. This is where I realised my table was not level, and I decided to put a stick underneath to level it out. And I watched it for 10 minutes. Nothing was happening. So I left. I went home. Went out, not home. And came back, and oh, my desk was a mess. Thankfully for silicone mats. And the stick was stuck firmly in the bottom of the tray. And because it had piddled off, there was a little patch where there was no resin, so I've tried to fill that in with UV. It don't look great, but it's not. It is mine. It's not going to be for sale. It's just for me. But yeah, I've got to sand the heck out of the bottom, and you'll see a picture in a minute. It'll just. So yeah, this is me put my handles on, and then I'm going to put my resin on. I'll put it on the tray, and then there you go. There's the stick of doom. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching. It can be rectified, so even a disaster can be made pretty. So don't ever think of throwing your stuff away. Just fix it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
In a world of shadows, light does sing. A goth unicorn with a blackened wing. Happy she dances under moonlit nights, creating beauty, spurring on delight. Her hooves tap softly to the softest bells, crafting wonders in her secret spells. From threads of silver and whispers bright, a tapestry woven in the dark of night. Her hooves tap softly to the softest